Hello guys, very important topic. In this video, I would like to talk about JavaScript promises. I promise a result. Producing code is a code that can take some time. Consuming code is code that must wait for the result. A promise an object that links producing code and consuming code. There are a lot of methods, guys, and I will try to cover in almost all, but all the important methods, not all. So Promise.all, Promise.all settled, Promise.any, catch, finally, race, reject, resolve, prototype.then, with resolve. These are all the methods in the JavaScript. Let's have a look in Visual Studio Code, guys, one by one, and in how. Let me open my Visual Studio Code, go to my code, and here this terminal. Let me write in first one. So first one is I would like to show just a promise, and my resolve and my reject is an arguments, and if I'm passing those arguments in the promise object, so we'll see how it's going. So function. So here I here this is a test, right? In this one, just I want to log. Okay, here let I pro I promise new promise. Okay, new promise. This new promise means an object is going to take it in a few values, like in executor. Executor is a callback function. In that callback function or normal function, and then you can take it in either resolve or reject. If it is resolve, it will go to the one data. Reject means it will go to give you the error. Okay, the error, whatever error is. So let's have a look at that. What I'm talking about. So here I want function. This function I will go to take the resolve, and just I'm passing it. Okay. Okay, so in here, uh, here just I want to take in left equal to 0. So producing, so here just producing the right producing code. As I told you earlierly, producing and consuming code, the promises that is called as a link between the producing and consuming code. What is the producing code? Here the producing code. What does it mean? If 0, if x equal to g, resolve at the one, right? Then here resolve is okay. Just I'm taking fine. So if it's failed, what happened with else? That case, reject error. Okay. So in one, that's all in this method. Then what I have to do? Consuming code. So that means is here we have to wait for consuming code. So here the promise. What promise you took it here? My promise, right? I promise. My promise. I promise dot then is going to give the method, going to give the result. So here I would like to call first one value and pass this value. My displayer, my displayer value. Okay, my displayer value first one. Okay, this is the one function. Another function I want to take paste this one here, comma guys. Here I would like to pass a value error. Okay, here I'm error. Okay, that's all guys for this one. Let's running in one and run this. Okay guys, okay. That means why it's coming okay. I want to explain that. So let x equal to 0. Here see. So here I'm passing in a test. Test means is I'm passing let x equal to 0, resolve and promise. That display I'm passing value is coming up, consuming code. So here let x equal to 0. That x equal to 0, resolve okay. And if it is not x equal to error, if I'm suppose by I'm taking 1, what is going to happen here? So if it see error is coming, right? So it's displaying error. That's the way is working in promise, guys. The promise is going to wait for some to the results for that one and based on the condition. So here, as I mentioned, there are few methods. Would like to talk about those methods. Let me comment out this piece. Don't want this piece. Next, I'm taking as an Promise.all. What is the Promise.all? Promise.all method is used when you have an array promises and you want to wait for all of them. So what does it mean? So suppose for example, I have 2 or 3 promises. I have to wait for that one. So what does it mean? Just and the one 7 and is all Promise.all. So here I have a 2 or 3 promises. Promise, promise dot to want to take the resolve. Okay, the promise to 42. What I'm taking. Okay, promise to new promise. Here I would like resolve. Sorry guys, reject. Then reject. In this reject, I'm putting in set timeout. In this set time, take it in all. In the resolve, just I want to test. So here, take it this value, and then what I have to do, the final one, so promise all method, promise.all method. Just I would like to call 1 comma 2 promise. Okay, I will pass in all the promises. Then here results consuming code. Here I'm taking as a values, whatever doesn't matter, whatever the argument you take it. In this argument, just I went to console.log the values I'm will see guys and what's going to happen, all everything going to display. So here, see guys, 3 is coming, 42 is coming, and wait for 100 milliseconds and it's coming up. So here, if I want to display after 3, so wait for 3 milliseconds, go to display. Okay guys, solve the promise.all. Next is I would like to talk about promise.all settled. All settled waits for all promises to settle, either fulfill or reject, and then returns an array of results objects. What does it mean? Just let me copy of code, guys. All settled. Okay, promise.all settled. So constant 1 equal to what? Resolve solved 1. First one, second one, 2 equal to Promise.reject rejected to say now const equal to prompt this object resolve set timeout is set timeout to resolve resolve three comma 1000 means ends. Then now I want to do another one is promise build. So here I want to take it from to be settled. Here I would like to take this, that means it's consuming code and results results in this one here. I would like to use in for each method, guys, to take the values out. So here I would like to take in dot each, right, for each method is a callback function, will take for each array element. So is a callback function one time for each element in it. So that's the one, guys, right? Here result, okay. In this result, okay, you result dot status is fulfilled, okay, fulfilled. Here fulfilled, comma result dot, if it is not fulfilled, that case else if result dot status rejected is log, this console.log dot reason. Okay, that's all, guys. So as I mentioned, all settled mean waits for all promises to settle, either fulfill or reject, then returns an array of results of, that is the fulfilled, all settled. Let me go now terminal and the node text.js. Yeah, see, guys, so what is the what is the rejected, what is the full? Here promise2 is reject, they rejected promise, and resolve the one, resolve the promise. So wherever I keep resolve, and resolve is coming up, and it is, that is the all settled, guys.
So I hope you understand something. Is and then the next is Promise.any. What is the Promise.any method? Promise.any method waits for the first promise in an array to fulfill and resolve and yeah, ignoring any rejected promises until all promises have been examined. So what does it mean? So let me take this code, okay, the code and go down. What promise that here I copied and paste the same thing. Promise one. I don't want to take this way. Promise one. New promise, new promise, new promise, new promise. Better take resolve. This resolve set set resolve promise promise one time, right? The first one. Second one, same thing. Take the let me paste it over here. And just here. Click. So here guys, so this is the promise one. Promise to new promise, a timeout, and promise to reject, I think. Yeah, this one is reject. Promise to rejected. Just I want to put the second. Third one is the new promise, new promise, or come. Is it? And next one is promise three. This promise three, new promise, all set out, and promise three resolved in 1500. Okay, so the times are different. Then remaining by the method dot any promise dot in any in this dot any. So what I have to do, take these values one promise two comma promise okay, three. So in this promise three dot then value. So here promise fulfill. Fulfill is value. Next one is catch. Okay, here I want to take it in catch. Error. This error. Say here dot log all or that's all, guys. So Promise.any. Again, I would like to talk about Promise.any. Promise.any the waits for the first promise any array to fulfill. That is the Promise.any. Here, let me run this. Let's see this. Wait for some time and see here, guys. The first promise fulfill is resolved in. So whatever the promise is fulfilled and promise 3 is fulfilled. That's the one. As I mentioned, Promise.any waits for the first promise array fulfill, resolve the one. So that is the Promise.any, guys. Let me talk about Promise.race. Promise.race is a method, is a part of the JavaScript promise API. It takes an array of promises and returns the new promises that is settled, fulfilled, or rejected. So, and as soon as the first promise and array is settled. So let's have a look onto that, guys. The same things I would like to take. So I don't want to take a new thing. Just I want to keep it in the base. And promise 1 is the same, promise 2 is the same, promise 3 is the same. Just I want to change these values to base. One is the base method is already there. In there is the promise 1, promise 2, promise 3, and then console.log fulfill. The first promise is fulfill is the second promise catch. If it is there any error, this catch is coming. Just I change it to any two. Guys, just rerun this. Wait for some time. All promises were rejected. Promise 2 is rejected. So because as I mentioned, Promise.race method is a part of the JavaScript promise API. It takes an array of promises and returns a new promise settled, fulfilled, or rejected as soon as first promise in the array is settled. That's what is coming in output, and just you can do some R&D, guys, about this. Very important. Next one, I would like to talk about in Promise.reject. What is the Promise.reject? Promise.reject is a static method JavaScript promise API that returns a new promise object that is rejected with given a reason and error. A constant reason equal to this promise is rejected, and just you can do it in whatever you want to. Like suppose, okay, I want to show Promise.reject is just how you're going to write syntax, guys. Reason equal to is the okay in this one promise. Okay, it's correct. Promise.reject. There is a method in this reject. What you have to do? The reason. So if you're writing for that, so here, so if I'm writing in console.log and reject the promise, just you can syntax.js. If the rejection is happening, right? That's what the promise is got rejected. That's what is coming in this error, guys. And top of that, and here the promise is rejected. Trigger, there is yeah, there is an error. Okay, so that's way you can do it, and then you can do it in another way also. Catch also is going to is the promise is rejected with a reason. You can do it the one. Doesn't matter, guys. And then promise.resolve is the static method, and the JavaScript promise API that returns a new promise object is resolved with given value. The same way how you are writing in here, same way you can do it in resolve here. Just put in the resolve, then we can clear this command. here just run. See guys, promise, this promise is resolved. So let me change. So earlier it is coming throwing error, now it's not throwing. So this promise is resolved, right? So this is the one guys, the way you are writing. If you want to, you can change it. Resolved promise. Here command terminal again and rerun this one. So this is the promise resolver and that is the promise reject. These two guys, so promise resolve and reject both are the static methods of the JavaScript promise API that returns a new promise object. Is resolved means is going to give the result resolved promise. If it is the reject means it's going to throw the error. Same like in catch. Finally, how it's working in catch, the same way is going to, there is a promises. I hope that's all, guys, in all the methods in promise methods. I hope and I covered in all methods, Java and promises specifically. So promise is very important, guys. Please, one or two times if you want to go through, you can understand about this promise. Go through my video and understand about that one. Is in more in detail. If you are a beginner, you can do it in a plenty of times regarding in these four things. JavaScript callbacks, one is JavaScript callback, another one is the JavaScript asynchronous, and JavaScript async and await. Another one is promises we have different methods. Coming back to interview perspective, promise is I faced in a lot of time about the promise. They asked in a lot of times about the promise methods. What is going to do Promise.all, what is going to do Promise.all.settled, what is going to Promise.any, what is going to do Promise.race, Promise.resolve, Promise.reject, all these things. So Promise.catch, finally, and all this stuff, guys. And just you can thoroughly understand and do more practice. So useful. That's all for this course in advanced JavaScript. I hope I covered almost all JavaScript main methods, main things, so main concepts, so and methods as well. So I hope you guys are can little bit in more. So we'll catch up in another series, and after this series I will go to Java. I will go to make another video about the JavaScript interview questions, guys. So I faced the interview questions regarding the code practices. Mainly I want to show you how to do the code practices step by step. So see in another catch up in